So we've been doing some experimentation on stream bank restoration, and up and down Hog Creek we have a lot of these cut banks that have developed over the years, and I would like to show you how we're experimenting on some of these cut banks on our farm. So we're here at our stream restoration project. We had a cut bank back here, a vertical cut bank, and to fix this cut bank, we went and cut down some sycamore trees here. You can see that we lined as close to the cut bank as we could get. We lined the edge of that with these sycamore trees, and then we cabled them together. And we started up there, cutting down the first sycamore. We cabled it to its stump, and then we just cabled the next sycamore that went in front to it, is what we did. So once we got the sycamores in place, we took a backhoe and we knocked the bank down to make that slope more stable. As we knocked it down, we took some willow trees that we had planted on some of the gravel bars before, and we planted them behind this sycamore revetment. The willow trees they like growing here at the base. They like being in the water and close to the water. So we planted the willow trees as we knocked the soil down. So one of the first things that we did after we got the sycamore trees in is we tried to get a layer of gravel from about the water line down. And this layer of gravel is put in there because we have a lot of water that is coming down through the soil, and then it comes out into the creek, underground. And we want to make that easy for that water to come out, underground. And, if it were soil, it would just tend to slow it down. And this is kind of the plan in these streams is for there to be a layer of gravel down low for the water to come out. So then once we had that cut bank down and sloped back, we came and planted some different native plant material. This here, we planted foul manna grass down at the stream's edge. This here, we saw this growing in Hog Creek further upstream, and we made some collections of it. Another plant is this dark green bulrush, likes to grow down by the water. So these are very much adapted to growing in the water on the gravel bars. So we started here at the bottom with some of the foul manna grass and switchgrass, river oats, and another grass that we like a lot for these stream bank restorations is the prairie cordgrass. That's the tall vertical grass right there. It has roots that look like a rug. So the roots just bind together and really hold the soil together. They're just really adapted, to growing in these wet areas and to holding a bank once it gets established well. We planted some of this sawtooth sunflower, some of the sunflowers. They also spread by underground rhizomes, and they like this good soil situation that we have here on this cut bank. Getting the right plant in the right place is important. So some things are adapted to growing in the water. Some things are adapted to very shallow to bedrock. And if you don't get the right plant in the right place, it's just not going to thrive. So these plants are adapted down here on the stream bank, and we have plants that are adapted to hold on to the soil. One thing that did not go well is as we took the bank down, the topsoil ended up down there. Those plants did great. But up here on the taller part of the cut bank, we ended up with more subsoil. So we like to use some of these plants that get established in poor soil as well. And one of these is the tickseed coreopsis. I was really glad that I included it in on this mix because you can see that things are just a little bit bare here. There are some other plants coming on in here you know, like the switchgrass. We have some switchgrasses that are being pretty slow to develop, but they're coming on, and we'll fill in these voids as time goes on. I really like what happened, you know, down here close to the sycamores. As we knocked off that bank, we got the best soil right there. Most of the topsoil right there, and these plants are just thriving. So just envision, this used to be a vertical cut bank. This is its fourth growing season. So we're on this fourth growing season here. So I'm sharing this stream bank restoration project with the Natural Resources Conservation Service because we like the way it turned out, and we think it might be, you know, a good project for other people, a good way to do other things, you know, on some of the streams. But streams are complicated, and you know, we have to be looking at each one to figure out the best tools to use for that restoration.